Hi, and welcome to my analysis video where I show you the trading opportunities that I'm looking out for in this week. So we have a couple of currency pairs as well as two stocks indices that I'm going to be going through. First pair we're looking at is Euro USD. Now a couple of weeks ago I mentioned that I was looking for an opportunity to short if price can break 1.1300 support and remains below that. Well, it turned out that hasn't happened at all. There is still a lot of buying pressure. For whatever reason, whenever this pair falls below this level into this region here, people started buying it. At the moment, however, my view has changed and I'm actually looking for an opportunity to go long. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for a break above this level here, which I believe is last week's high. And the move in particular that I'm looking for is a break above it and then a slight pullback to come and retouch that level before price heading up again. So this is the scenario that I'm looking for before I would make a trade. Could be today or tomorrow. I don't know when it's going to happen, so it's going to be on my watch list. Let's revisit British Pound Australian Dollar, which is not a pair that has shown any trading opportunities, but it is something that I'm looking at because I'm watching the effect of a trend line, which I've mentioned in the last two videos or so. So what has happened last week is that indeed this turned out to be another higher low. So we've got three higher lows, but we still haven't got a higher high. And we may not get it. I think this higher highs, higher lows pattern is beginning to break down. And the reason I say that is because of this resistance level here. Price had a reaction to that on Friday last week. And right now it looks like this level is fairly strong, perhaps strong enough to end this pattern. So for the pattern to continue, price would have to break above this and make a higher high. So if that's the case, then I will just extend this trend line to see how far this pattern can continue. However, if we don't see that and we see, for example, a lower low, so let's say it breaks that and it does that, then this would invalidate this entire higher highs, higher lows pattern. In my experience, trading trend lines, particularly when you're looking for high highs and high lows, is very difficult simply because it's not always nice and clear, and it's very hard to find a good position to put an effective stop loss. So that's why I wanted to learn more about these patterns. I know they can be very powerful. I know they can give extraordinary risk to reward, but right now I just don't have enough experience to trade them. So continue to learn and we'll see what happens from here. The British Pound USD price is approaching resistance level at 1.3210. So what I'm going to be looking for in the next couple of days is I'm looking to see what price does once it gets to this level. And if it shows me that this is once again acting as resistance, perhaps there's indecision printing here, then I'll be favoring a short trade if I can see the signals that I look for when I'm trading a reversal. So keeping a close eye out for this one. And the last currency pair on my list for this week is USD Japanese Yen. So from last week, if you've seen my videos, you would have noticed that I've taken a short on the 1 hour chart, which ended in about 10 minutes because the market proved my analysis completely wrong. So what has happened is that yesterday we had a candle that broke or tried to push above resistance. I don't think it quite got there because it didn't really close much higher than where I had resistance at 111 exactly. And looking at the overall pattern, we've got, I'll say it's still an uptrend, but price approaching resistance, I'm going to be looking for a short. This one is a little bit more difficult to short, and the way I'm going to do it is this. I'm going to be watching for a break below this low here. So the scenario that I'm looking for in order to take a trade is for this pattern to break, for resistance to hold. Let's say price would hang around a little bit here, then it will begin to break this blue line that I just drew. Once that happens, that is my signal to say that the setup is now exactly what I'm looking for, and then I will be putting a sell limit order probably close to where this blue line is. Obviously that might change depending on how price action unfolds, but for now that seems to be the plan. So the plan is for price to make a lower low below this blue line, come back, and that's when I will get in on a retracement targeting the move down further. This is my trading plan for this pair. So to finish off this video, I want to cover two share indices. Stock index is not something that I trade on a regular basis. I have traded it in the past, and this week I have seen two. So let's go through that right now. The first instrument that we're looking at is the Hong Kong 50. Yep. So this is the index of the 50 largest companies in the Hong Kong stock market by capitalization. And what has drawn me to this particular index for today at least is that it had a really strong and rather straight up move since late December of last year, and now it has run into some support and resistance. So this level that I've marked down here, 29,115. So when price was above this, it was acting as support. As you can see, whenever price dips below, it has always been bouncing off that. Once it got below that, there's not enough to say that it's acting in resistance, but possibly if you're looking for it, that could be one rejection there. It's too minor for me to count. So I would say that right now, whether or not this level can act as resistance is untested. It is clear that it can act as support, but as resistance, I am not certain. So what I'm looking for is I'm going to be watching this index to see what price does, whether it breaks or it is unable to and it rolls over. And the more favorable scenario to trade here, obviously, in terms of risk reward, is the rollover. So we've got pretty much just a very steep line up here. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for some sort of consolidation, perhaps sign that sellers are beginning to take control, and I will be trading a move down. I don't know how far that move down would be, but that's something I will be looking at because I think the reward to risk ratio is terrific. If I'm able to get it right in this zone here, I would be able to make quite a big reward given the risk that I'm taking. So that's what I'm doing for this index here. And the last one we're going to be looking at is the SPY, the US 500. Very similar setup. However, this is a stronger case because there is clear sign that the support level is now acting as resistance. So zoom out the chart for you. I have this level here, 2816, and it has twice shown me that it is a resistance level. We got one rejection there, one rejection there. Much like the Hong Kong 50, we had pretty much a straight drive up there. So what I'm going to do now is look for sign that this up move ends here, right at resistance. And if that's the case, I'm going to be looking to short. Possibly my first target would have to be around about this area here. So when I'm calculating the numbers for my trade, I need to keep in mind that my target shouldn't be further than this level. So we're looking at around about 2670 is the target. I need to keep that in mind in order to work out where my entry should be, where my stop loss, and if the reward to risk ratio is worthwhile to take the trade or not. So it'll be interesting to see how these two turn out. I will give you an update on these two index regardless of how they turn out, because I have not seen many trading opportunities on share indexes. It takes a long time for them to form. Right now I think these two looks really good in terms of reward to risk ratio. So we'll see how this one goes. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.